Welcome all children. As in class 11th we are doing the second chapter, structure of atom, and in that we have covered Bohr's model of atom. So children, in Bohr's model of atom, I have told you all that the energy is quantized. According to Bohr's model, the energy is quantized. So children, here I am going to explain that in what manners we can say that energy is quantized according to Bohr's model, taking an example from our real life. So to understand the term quantization or quantized, let me give you one example. Children, whenever we travel in a taxi, what we find that the speedometer of the taxi, speedometer you have seen, speedometer in a taxi will tell you about the speed with which a taxi is moving. So when you look at the pointer of the speedometer, children, what you see is that the pointer of the speedometer moves gradually and कंटिन्यूसली. वो जो स्पीडोमीटर का पॉइंटर होता है वो कंटिन्यूसली और ग्रेजुअली मूव करता रहता है. कंटिन्यूसली it moves because the speed of the taxi is changing. As the speed of the taxi is changing according to acceleration, depending upon the acceleration, the speed of the taxi is changing. Therefore, when you look at the speedometer, then you can find that the pointer of the speedometer keeps on moving as the speed keeps on changing. But children, when you look at the fare meter, what is a fare meter? Fare meter is the one which gives or tells you about how many kilometers you have traveled, and on the basis of that how much amount you have to pay for traveling in that taxi. So when you look at the speedometer, the pointer of the speedometer keep on moving continuously and the value is changing as the speed is changing. While when you look at the fare meter does not move continuously, children. It moves abruptly and discontinuously in the multiples of ₹1. अगर आप स्पीडोमीटर को देखते हैं तो वो कंटिन्यूस मूव नहीं करता है, वो कुछ टाइम बाद किलोमीटर्स के अकॉर्डिंग मल्टीपल ऑफ ₹1 के अकॉर्डिंग मूव करता है. ओके, सो इट्स वैल्यू और द if you look at the speedometer, it moves abruptly and discontinuously in multiples of ₹1, abruptly and discontinuously. It is due to this reason fare meter has certain specific values in multiples of ₹1. This fare meter will be giving you a specific value in multiples of ₹1. It has a specific value. It will tell you how much amount you have to pay for traveling this much kilometers, okay, whatever may be the speed of the taxi. So it gives you a specific value, okay. And how it is moving abruptly and discontinuously. वो लगातार नहीं मूव करता रहता है, वो कुछ किलोमीटर, जैसे 1 किलोमीटर फॉर एग्जाम्पल, फॉर 1 किलोमीटर it is ₹1 you have to pay. So it moves abruptly and discontinuously. जैसे ही वो 1 किलोमीटर पूरा होता है वैसे ही आपके मल्टीपल ऑफ ₹1 के अकॉर्डिंग जो rupees है और the amount you have to pay, it comes. Okay children, so it is having therefore a specific value in multiples of 1. Therefore you can say that the fare meter or the fare of taxi is quantized because it is having a specific value. It is having a specific value. Okay, it is having a specific value in multiples of ₹1. While children, speed is not quantized because speed is not having a specific value. and it is changing continuously, while the fare in a taxi is quantized as it is changing abruptly and discontinuously in the multiple of rupee 1. So it will be having a specific value, the fare, while the speed is not having specific value when you travel in a taxi. Therefore the fare in a taxi is quantized but the speed is not. Now children, why I have discussed this with you? This is to explain the meaning of the term quantized. Now if we consider this, in case of an atom, what Bohr told us? He postulated that electron revolves around the nucleus in certain fixed circular orbits. I have told you children that the electron is revolving in a circular orbit, okay, around the nucleus. If this is the nucleus and this is the orbit, okay, and the electron is revolving around this nucleus in an orbit. Now what Bohr postulated? He postulated that when an electron revolves around a nucleus in a fixed circular orbit, this electron continuously or will continue to revolve without gaining or losing energy. This electron will be revolving around this orbit, around this nucleus in an orbit without any loss of energy or without any gain of energy. It means that the energy the energy of this electron is not changing continuously, because it is neither gaining energy nor it is losing energy. It has a fixed energy and it is moving with that fixed energy only. So this energy of electron cannot change continuously, but the energy of this electron is having a definite or a fixed value. Therefore we say that energy of an electron is quantized. What I have told you children, in Bohr's model, electron revolves around this nucleus in circular orbit and this electron will not gain or lose energy and keep on revolving around this nucleus. It means the energy of this electron is not changing continuously, but energy of nucleus is having a definite value. Therefore the energy of this electron is quantized. Hope this is clear children. Now next one is usefulness of Bohr's model. Now children, first point is it explains the stability of atom. Bohr was able to explain about the stability of atom because children, Bohr told that an electron cannot lose energy. An electron cannot lose energy as long as it stays in a particular orbit. Bohr told that an electron is not going to lose any energy, so it will be staying in that particular orbit. So therefore the electron will not fall into the nucleus, because what happens children, when electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbit, then it tends to lose energy as given by Rutherford, because it is moving in a circular motion. So on losing energy it will fall into the nucleus and the atom can collapse. But Bohr told that an electron is not going to lose energy when it stays in a particular orbit. Therefore the question of losing energy continuously will not arise at all, and the electron is not going to fall into the nucleus and the atom is not going to collapse. An atom is not going to collapse because an electron is not going to lose energy as long as it stays in a particular orbit. अगर वो energy lose ही नहीं करेगा तो वो nucleus में कैसे गिरेगा? तो जब वो न्यूक्लियस में नहीं गिरेगा तो एटम कोलैप्स नहीं होगा. जब एटम कोलैप्स नहीं होगा, इट मीन्स द एटम इज स्टेबल. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन, it explained the line spectrum of hydrogen. Children, the most remarkable success of Bohr's model was that this model was able to explain about the line spectrum of hydrogen. Okay, so according to Bohr's theory, Bohr told that an electron is not going to absorb or lose energy. एक इलेक्ट्रॉन ना तो एनर्जी अब्जॉर्ब करता है ना लूज करता है जब तक कि वो एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्बिट में रहता है. लेकिन अगर हम किसी भी एटम को इलेक्ट्रिक डिस्चार्ज देते हैं, इफ़ यू गिव इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, इफ़ यू पास इलेक्ट्रिसिटी थ्रू एन एटम, और इफ़ यू कीप एन एटम एट अ हायर टेम्परेचर, अगर आप एटम के थ्रू इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास करते हैं या आप उस एटम को हाई टेम्परेचर पे रखते हैं, देन व्हाट हैपन्स चिल्ड्रन, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन होता है, like I have told you, this is an electron. Okay, suppose this is one more orbit. So this electron when subjected to electric discharge or high temperature, it tends to jump. I have told you children, it tends to jump from the ground state to higher state. अब ये ग्राउंड स्टेट था, इसमें इस इलेक्ट्रॉन के पास एक फिक्स एनर्जी थी. ये वो एनर्जी थी जिसकी वजह से वो इस ऑर्बिट में रिवॉल्व कर पा रहा था. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस चिल्ड्रन, on increasing the temperature, this electron is going to gain energy and will jump to higher energy state, but it will tend to be in this excited state. Children, the above one is the excited state or the higher energy state, and this one is the ground state of the electron. This one is the ground state of the electron. Okay, and this one above one is the excited state on which the electron jumps on gaining of energy. It can be electrical energy or gaining of heat energy. Okay, so this is the ground state and it is the excited state. But after some time, when you remove the source of energy, when you remove the temperature that you are providing, when you remove the electricity that you are giving to this atom, what happens? Again, this electron jumps back to the ground state from the excited state. Again, it comes back from excited state to ground state. Okay now children. Now what happens when this electron comes back to the ground state? Then energy is emitted. Okay, whenever electron jumps from lower energy state to higher energy state, then energy is emitted in the form of photon of light. Okay, whenever an electron gains energy, okay, so what happens, or whenever an electron jumps, then during each jump energy is emitted. Okay, energy is emitted in the form of photon of light. The energy that is emitted, that you see in the form of what children? That you see in the form of photon of light. And the photon of light, you know, whenever it is light, it is associated with a certain frequency or wavelength. Okay, so the photon emitted will have a certain frequency or a wavelength. So now how you can see, or how you can say that the frequency is depending upon the energy difference. We have one formula, E2 minus E1 is equals to h nu. Okay, so the relation between the energies and the frequency is given by E2 minus E1 is equals to h nu. E2 is the energy of the excited state and E1 is the energy of the ground state. It is equals to h nu. This formula we have already studied children. So now what happens? What will be the frequency? E2 minus E1 upon h. So this will be the frequency. But children, we know that frequency is equals to C upon lambda. So what we can write? Nu, or the frequency, is equals to C upon lambda is equals to E2 minus E1 upon h. But when you need to find out the value of lambda, lambda will go up and this will be hc. and E2 minus E1 will come down. So lambda will be equals to Hc upon E2 minus E1. Children, lambda gone up, E2 minus E1 come down, and H have gone up. So it is Hc upon E2 minus E1. So this is how we can tell about the wavelength of the photon emitted when electron jump from lower energy state to higher energy state, or what is the frequency of radiation that is emitted, or the frequency of the photon that is emitted whenever electron jumps from lower energy state to higher energy state. So second one is it could explain the line spectrum of hydrogen, and the first one is explain the stability of the atom. Okay children, so these are the two usefulness of Bohr's model. Now children, we are going to study about the limitations of Bohr's model of atom. Now children, it could not explain the line spectra of multi-electron atom. Children, Bohr's model was able to explain the line spectra, the lines that were seen in hydrogen and hydrogen-like particles, like in He positive, Li2 positive, and hydrogen. So these three elements having only one electron, in their case, Bohr model was able to explain about the line spectrum of an atom. But children, when you consider multi-electron species, it means जिन स्पीशीज में वन से ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन होंगे, तो जब उस बात आई एक से ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन वाले एटम्स की, then in that case Bohr model of atom was not able to explain about the splitting and the lines that came. It was not able to explain about the line spectra of multi-electron atom. जो स्पेक्ट्रा एटम्स में देखा गया था, किन एटम्स में, जो मल्टी इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पीशीज थी, यानी जिनमें इलेक्ट्रॉन्स थे which were more than one. So those line spectra, this Bohr model of atom was not able to explain at all. Okay children, now next one, inability to explain the splitting of lines in magnetic field and in electric field. Now what happens children, when you place an atom in magnetic field and then placing in magnetic field, the the single line splits when an atom is placed in magnetic field, and due to this, when the lines split or when the spectral line splits in number of lines. Now children, how I am going to explain it? Suppose this is single spectral line. Now this spectral line is placed in a magnetic field. Now when it is placed in a magnetic field, it splits in a number of lines. It splits in a number of lines. So this splitting of this single spectral line when placed in magnetic field is known as Zeeman effect. This also was not explained by Bohr's model. This splitting of spectral line when placed in magnetic field is known as Zeeman effect. This effect was not explained by Bohr's model. In the same way children, when this spectral line is placed in electric field, again there is splitting of this single spectral line. This effect was known as Stark effect. This effect is known as Stark effect. This effect also was not explained by this Bohr's model. Now the third point, it could not explain the 3D model of an atom. Now children, Bohr's model was a flat model. वो एक flat model था. It was not a 3D model. You have seen a tennis ball or you have seen a football. Atom is like that only. So it is a 3D structure. While the मॉडल दैट वॉज गिवन बाय बोहर वॉज अ फ्लैट मॉडल. आप उसे पेज पर बना के बता सकते हैं, बट कैन यू मेक अ बॉल ओवर इन ऑन अ पेज? नो, यू कैन नॉट. इन द सेम वे, बोहर्स मॉडल वॉज अ फ्लैट मॉडल and was not a 3D model. Now next, so 3D model was not there. Now the fourth one, it could not explain about the shape of molecules. Now children, different molecules, whenever you talk about covalent molecules like methane, so methane has a different shape like this. So the direction in which the atoms orient is different for different molecules. So these shapes of molecules are not explained by Bohr. And one last thing is, it could not explain about the de Broglie concept of dual nature of matter and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Now children, these two are the one which we are going to do in our next video. In my next video, I'll be explaining you about the de Broglie concept of dual nature of matter. It means the matter has two type of nature, and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. These two are not explained by Bohr's model of atom. These two are not explained by children Bohr's model of atom. Now again we will revise it. It was not able to explain the line spectra of multi-electron atoms. वो जिन एटम्स में वन और मोर देन उन एटम्स के की लाइन स्पेक्ट्रा को एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाया था, which were having more than one electron. Second one, could not able to explain the splitting of lines in magnetic field and in electric field. Now children, this I have told you, जो स्पेक्ट्रल लाइन थी वो कैसे सिंगल स्पेक्ट्रल लाइन स्प्लिट हो जाती है बहुत सारी लाइंस में मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में, जिसको जीमन इफेक्ट बोलते हैं, एंड इन इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड what we called is Stark effect. So he was not able to explain these splitting of lines. Okay, so this was again a limitation. Third one, was not able to explain about the 3D model of atom. It could not give the concept of 3D model of atom. Bohr model of atom was a flat model of atom. Now it could not explain about the shape of molecules. I have told you why hydrogen is oriented around the carbon atom in methane in different directions. So the shape of molecule was not explained by बोहर्स मॉडल की इन मॉलिक्यूल्स की शेप ऐसी ही क्यों आई, और दूसरे मॉलिक्यूल की किसी मॉलिक्यूल की शेप ट्राइगोनल है, किसी की टेट्रागोनल है, किसी की ट्राइगोनल बाई पिरामिडल है, तो वो जो अलग अलग शेप्स आई वो किस रीजन से आई, दैट वाज नॉट एक्सप्लेन बाय बोहर मॉडल ऑफ एटम. एंड द लास्ट वन, फिफ्थ वन, could not explain de Broglie concept of dual nature of atom and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay children, so these are the limitations of Bohr's model of atom. Now we are going to solve one numerical from NCERT. So the question is, calculate the energy associated with the first orbit of He positive and what is the radius of this orbit. Now children, what has been asked over here? Energy of first orbit. Children, whenever it is first orbit, the value of n will be equal to 1 of helium. Helium is hydrogen like particle because it is having one electron only, He positive it is. So generally the number of electrons of helium are 2. Okay, and the orbit, it is first orbit, so n is equals to 1. What you need to find out children? You need to find out the energy and the radius of the orbit. So two things you need to find, the energy and the radius. Energy and the radius of the orbit. Now to find out the energy of this He positive, first orbit of He positive, we have one formula. This we have studied in Bohr's model of atom. energy is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 Z square upon N square joule per atom. So this is the formula for energy. Now as it is given first orbit, so the value of N will be equals to 1, and as helium will give you the atomic number of the species. So helium is having atomic number 2, so we'll put the value of N and Z in this formula. We'll put the value of N and Z in this formula. So what you get is minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 upon 12. 12 is like, no, it's not 12 children, it's 1 square. Okay, it's 1 square because N square is 1 square and Z is 2. So Z square is 2 square. So the answer came out to be minus 8.72 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule. This is the energy associated with the first orbit of He positive. Okay, now we need to find out the radius of the first orbit. So to find out the radius, we have formula 0.0529 upon Z N square in nanometers. Okay children, now we know the value of N, we know the value of Z. We'll put in this. N is equals to 1 and Z is equals to 2. So it is N square is 1 square and Z is equals to 2. So the answer came out to be 0.02645. Children, these formulas we have already done. If you remember, we have already covered the formula for energy and we have already covered the formula for the radius. We have covered the formula for radius. Okay children, if you remember, I'll show you. For hydrogen like species, radius is Rn A naught N square upon Z. This was the value of radius. A naught is having a value over here 0.0529 in case of nanometers. Okay children. So in case of nanometer we have kept this value, and we have the value formula for energy also, that also I have discussed with you children. Okay, so I just hope this numerical is clear to you all children. To find out the energy we have this formula, and to find out the radius we have this formula. So I just hope this lecture is clear to you all. In case of any doubt, you can write down in the comment section. Till then, all of you take care. Thank you and have a nice day.